So, welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. We're doing it with audio this time. I really appreciate that several of you were just hanging out, waiting for the sound to come on, and didn't tell me, hey, we can't hear you at all. So I apologize for that, and we'll get into it. Hello, everyone here in the chat. Hello, people watching through that Bear Cave symbol up there. Let me know if you're a subscriber by throwing up a comment in the Bear Cave. So, what are we working on? We started in our last stream working on the Wing Gundam Zero. So I'll show you a little bit of progress we had there. This is all we've done so far. I mounted, since our last episode, I just put the shoulder cannons on just to get that out of the way. But that is now done. I got to learn, that's where the build space is today. So that's where we're going to build. So put those on. They were a little annoying. So I just did that in my off time. And then you can put the caps back on and they lock into place. And it's pretty cool. So that's that. We've got most of our chest done. We got a little bit of our torso done. We are going to work on the head next. The head is in many builds. This is the master grade, as you know, are very difficult. The head is where you're going to accidentally snip a piece in half. So I did a little bit of prep here. I'll show you. I did a little bit. This is a clear piece. It's probably hard to see on stream. But that is a clear piece that we are working with. And then the rest of the face is white on red, as is pretty traditional. The Wing Gundam is similar to a lot of mainstay Gundams and a lot of the look. There's always a Gundam that looks somewhat traditional with a little changes here and there depending. So that this is that Gundam that's going to be fairly straightforward and fairly traditional. So we're going to keep working on the head, and I want to thank everyone for joining me here on a Saturday evening in our new time of 9 p.m. Eastern instead of 8 p.m. I did that because it seemed like once we hit 9 o'clock, I got more viewers than I was getting at the 8 p.m. hour, especially you West Coast friends. You're getting off the job, getting home in time for the stream. Hello, Johnny Warps. Thanks for joining us here in the chat. Thanks for watching the stream. Trying to catch these for a bit, but 3 a.m. my time. Wow, Johnny Warps. Well, thank you. I really appreciate you watching live. You're in Sweden. Great. I assumed that you were somewhere across the Atlantic Ocean. Well, thank you for joining us. That's awesome. Yeah, I have a few people watching internationally, and that's incredible. It's really cool. Thank you for doing that. It's awesome to have some friends from overseas watching the streams. I'm glad you're able to catch it a little bit in person. I'm trying to think about the time change, if my weird Thursday on the 5th will help you or not. But on Thursday, October 5th, I will have a afternoon stream, which will be 2 p.m. till 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm doing that because I have shows that night, and so I will not be able to stream my normal evening, but I wanted to do a stream, so I'm going to do an afternoon stream, which will be, as I said, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern time. So I'm hoping that some people will be able to watch me on their lunch break. We'll go back to the basics of when I used to stream exclusively in the afternoon before I figured out how to do night streaming here from my apartment. Okay, so what are we doing now? We are going to start putting together our head. I've got to be pretty careful with this because I don't want to break anything while dealing with this head. I want it to be nice and easy. So putting a couple pieces in there. I'm going to just try to take my time with this. Do it nice and slow. I'm going to just put it together a little bit, not snap it together. Just a little bit to kind of see where everything should be in this particular piece of the build so that I am not messing it up, because these pieces are annoying to take apart. Oh, Johnny, that would be great. Yeah, that's Thursday, the 5th of October. I will be doing an afternoon stream because I will have shows that evening, and otherwise will be unable to perform. So I decided to instead just do it at a different time because of my performance schedule. All right, so I found where this goes, putting pieces where they need to be. We're going to assemble the head fully now because I figured out where every piece needs to go. And there we go. So we've got our head mostly assembled. Still a few more pieces that need to go on, which we will do now. A1. This guy, the crown piece, lets you know that this is the main. Not only that this is a Gundam, most Gundams have this, but also this lets you know, oh, this is the big deal main Gundam. This is the hero of our story's Gundam. Because look at that. That says I'm a champion. Yeah, so that's going on there. I'm excited about that. I want to thank everybody who is subscribing. We are at 19 subscribers right now, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for that. That's rad as hell. I did not expect to hit that so fast because we've been doing this, I believe, a month, which is awesome to have that many subscribers. As you know, we did our 2 streams ago. We gave away, sorry, I'm going to look at this here, 820 and 19, and the A and D is what I need. Great. Do that now. As you know, we gave away the very first build we did, the Shining Gundam was given away, and I'll do another one at 30. So we're at 19 right now. When we hit 30 subscribers, I will do another giveaway, and they will win the Ecto 1 Lego kit, because as I said, and I will repeat, the next one technically that I would want to give away in order of finishing would be the real quick, this is a tight one, great, would be the Death Scythe, but I'm keeping that Death Scythe. Sorry. I'm going to give away everything else. I might do something different with anything bought on my Amazon wish list. I'm thinking what I might do is if someone buys something on that Amazon wish list for me to build, then I'll send it to them. Because I think that's, like, it's so awesome that someone would go on that wish list and send something to me. I think it's only fair for me to pay it back vis-a-vis sending the completed kit back to that person. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I don't know for sure, but that's what I think. Or at the very least, I'll offer it to the person that sent it to me to build. I'll say, hey, do you want this when I'm done? I think that would be pretty cool. But as I said, that also kind of have to, like, talk to that person about that. But I think that's what I'm going to do, because I think that would be very cool. All right, so we're doing a little fine-tune blue pieces here. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Johnny. Johnny in the chat mentions that didn't realize that when you got Twitch Prime, that when you got Amazon Prime, it meant you got Twitch Prime. It's a new thing. I believe it's only been this year. It hasn't been that long. A few months. Maybe just this calendar year that's been a thing. But yeah, if you have Twitch Prime, or sorry, if you have Amazon Prime, you can link your Twitch and Amazon accounts. It gives you some goodies, especially if you play Hearthstone. The goodies are pretty cool. Like, I think this month, if you sign up to do this thing, there was a thing where you could get free card backs, I should say. There's been a couple other pretty cool things. There was a hero skin that was that was just for Twitch Prime. There's been a few things. And other games. There's some like Twitch gear. Oh, Shenanigans, thank you very much for showing off that you are a subscriber. But yeah, I think there's some Twitch only gear for PUBG. It's pretty cool. All right, so we did our head. We got some wings on there. Got some face stuff. I believe there's 2 little tiny pieces we got to put on, and then we are set for the head. These are pretty tiny, so we'll get those on now. 39 and 40. All right, real tiny. Yes, there's been some Overwatch loot crates. There have been a few things. Lots of stuff for free-to-play games and popular Twitch games, which has been very cool. So yeah, that's one way to support. As I said, I think I said that in the stream. If I haven't, I'll say this now. Until October 2nd, if you are September is happening, in which sorry, I'm gonna be trying to get these little tiny pieces on here, which are a little delicate. These things are very tiny, so I'm gonna try to get them on right now. Okay, yeah, September. If you want to sub, it costs half price, and Twitch picks up the other half. So you fully support me, and for the first month of your subscription, it'll be free. That's until October 2nd. And if you subscribe, not only are you helping the channel, but you get access to an emote that only the chat has, which is the Bear Cave emote, because the $5 stream, or $5 level is the Bear Cave, and you're part of the Bear Cave. You're a Care Bear if you give me $10 a month, and if you give me $25, you're part of the Craft Bears, which that's a lot. Don't. All right. These pieces are very tiny. I'm going to show it to you. These are tiny little pieces. They're blue. They go on the face. I am not going to finish putting them on because they're very tiny. I probably will glue them on at the very end of our build. Right now, they just go back in the box. I don't want to do that. Johnny, yeah, I mean, if they're not the games you play, then the free stuff you get from Twitch Prime isn't necessarily awesome, but there's probably going to be more stuff. I've had a few things where, like, I got, like, the first game in a series of games for free or half off, and you have to, download their client to run them, but, hey, discounted games are still discounted. Okay, so that's the head. Like I said, I took those 2 tiny pieces away because they were annoying and I didn't want to deal with them. All right. Yeah, those little blue pieces I'm going to lose, so that's where they're going into the box so that I will find them at a later date. Okay, so that's the end of the head unit there. So we're going to put the head aside so that I don't break it. And we'll put the torso and chest aside, and we're going to start working on the arms. That's the next part of our build. While I have you in chat, let's see here. What do we got going on? Oh, I mentioned my Amazon wish list. I'll put a link to that. It'll be in the YouTube as well. But I will put that here in chat now. Let me know if you buy me something. Someone did buy it, and I don't know who it was. So I don't know. That's the Amazon wish list. Let me know, and it'll jump the line. Like, I'll stop. Like, if this thing that someone sent out, I believe it's a Unicorn Gundam. When I get it, I will stop with this build, and I will start working on that, and then I'll come back to it. So that's just something I thought would be pretty cool. So there's the Amazon wish list. Obviously, like, if you have Amazon credit, that's something you could do. If you're shipping international or even if shipping across the country, like, you don't have, none of this is mandatory or necessary. It's just a cool thing you could do if you had, like, Amazon store credit, but you don't have, like, the money to support me otherwise. Let me, while we're sending links in the chat, here is, and they'll be in my YouTube, as I said, this is the link to the Improvised Postmortem, which is a show that I am doing on Friday, October 6th at 11:59 p.m. at UCB Chelsea. I have not announced publicly any of the performers doing this show. It is based on the show that I did at PAX West, only this time it's about comic books because New York Comic Con is that weekend. So I decided to do a show about comic books. So that is happening on the 6th. I will say this, Friends of Giant Bomb, Abby Russell returns. That's right, Abby is also a New Yorker and a comedian, and so she was one of the first people I thought of when I found out 2 days ago that I had the show. So Abby's doing it. I haven't announced that publicly, but I'll announce that here on the stream. So if you're in New York, that should be a really cool show. And if you can't do Friday, but you could do Thursday maybe, well, you could come on Thursday for the Cards Against Humanity improv show, also at UCB Chelsea, that I'm also doing. So Improvised Postmortem, I'm going to film, and I'll put on my YouTube channel, Big Truck Simulator, right? I don't know if I'll be able to do, I don't think the card show is going to be filmed. That's up to them. It's their show. I'm just happy to hang out with them. So I can't say, for certain that like, oh, it'll be filmed. But the Improvised Postmortem New York Comic Con edition, I will film and will go on my YouTube channel. Because I'm doing that Thursday improv show with Cards Against Humanity, that's why I can't do my stream at its normal time. So instead, I'm going to do an afternoon one on the 5th. But next week, same Thursday and Saturday schedule. And the following week, I'll also do back to that regular schedule. Let's see here. All right, so we're working on our shoulders here. We've gotten to the arms and legs, so we're going to work on our arms. F36. All right, so I got to go back to the F. I'm starting to know what these pieces are and what the sheets look like. It takes me a little while sometimes to get used to that because, but some of these things are pretty similar, right? It's hard. Like once you do start doing the same kits over and over again, there are parts that are pretty similar. As always, as I get used to a kit, it gets easier. And so once I do this one arm, it might be a little slow, but once I start doing the second arm, it'll move really quickly because I'll have just done one. That's the hope anyway, is that when we're doing these things, is that it like all moves pretty smoothly once I do one, that the other kind of just happens. So let's see here. Got to put this in here so that it sticks through. That's fun. All right, and then I need PCE, which is the rubber pieces are always on their own sheet here. These rubber like joint pieces. In the high grade, you're going to have a lot of these, and in the master grade, you're really only going to have them when you have like the major connecting joints. This one has quite a few because it is a master grade of a pretty intense kit. All right, and F32 and F35. Using our trusty snipper clips here to make work of this. I'm not too worried about any of these pieces. They're small, but the plastic is pretty thick. 32. Right. So let's see. The master grade kits. So the kits I work in are master grade. Are going to be anywhere from $30 to $80, depending on. This is the 1/100 scale. The 1/144 scale is going to be way on the high end. It depends on how old the series is. If they've done reissues, and re-releases of the kits, they're going to be cheaper. The more modern kits might be a little more inexpensive because they're new, whereas the older kits you're getting on the second on secondary markets. Always do your research. You know, like Amazon Prime, if you see it on Amazon Prime, it might look appealing, but it might be cheaper to then get it somewhere else and just pay actual shipping costs. Or use something like Gundam Planet is going to have some deals, or Big Earth Entertainment sometimes will have some deals. I think that's the name of that. It's been a while since I've been to that site, but I believe that was the name of that. Okay, great. So, and then that snaps in place. I spent probably too much on this because I bought it at a store and not online, because I wanted to have a kit as soon as possible. I bought this kit when I bought the last one, and I just wanted to have them ready to go. And so in that instance, I paid a premium in order to have access, which I would not recommend. I would say shop around, unless you, like me, are doing live streams and you want to have equipment. My hope is that in the future I can have more of a backlog. I just purchased a kit that will be here in the mail, that's coming tomorrow. So when this is done, I at least know I have something else. And I always wanted that. When I start a kit, I want to have another kit. And then theoretically, someone is sending me a kit in the mail. And when that comes, I will have that as well, which is radical. All right. So let's see here. All right, so we did that. Now we're going to build off of that a little bit with some more parts. We'll get, yeah, because what I don't want to have to do is race out to the one store that I know has lots of model kits, because, well, they're trying to make a living, and I respect that and I understand that. But you know, I paid the Gundam Wing premium. This was probably like $50 or $60, and I probably could have gotten it for $30 if I shopped around. But I also, like, I'm buying Gundam Wing kits, which is like a very popular show, but it's my favorite Gundam kit. So, like, of course I'm going to buy it. The next one I'm going to build after this, that I purchased with my money that came from the lovely subscribers, the people that have given me donations from Ko-fi, you wonderful folks that have done that. So wait, one of these is B7, one of these is B8. I don't know which one is which. This one is the one I want. Sorry, I got a little distracted there. Cut out a piece I didn't need. B6. Okay, great. What was I gonna say? Yeah. So, yeah. So I want to have some kits. Oh, the next one that I bought myself to build is from the original series, but it's not necessarily a popular Gundam, but it's one I always thought looked cool. So I picked it up. All right. I almost picked up the Spiegel from Gundam, from G Gundam, but man, the G Gundam Master Grade kit, I'm not a huge fan of, as you might remember, because that one has screws in it. So I thought about picking up the Spiegel because it's actually a kind of cool look. For some reason, even though it's the German, it represents Neo Germany. It's like a stealth Gundam, so it's like kind of all black. It has like wrist blades, and it's a pretty cool like stealth Gundam. So eventually I'll get it, but I just know that it's from that era, so it's gonna have screws in it, and I don't want to build that. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna pass. I'll get that another time. I'm a little still a little traumatized. Okay, so now we're gonna build some stuff off the arm. We're attaching things to this arm. We've got our arm built, the exterior, and then we're gonna put together some pieces that go around it. We'll start with PCA and B, some B pieces. I remember what B looks like now. If you're working on anything in the chat, always let me know. I love seeing photos. Send me Twitch photos. if you're building along. Some people do paint model kits. On Thursday, we had someone who was distressing like maps and documents for their job. They were doing like monthly kits that you get, and so they were distressing paper, and that was fucking rad. Like I kind of wanted to stop the stream and be like, wait, what? What's up? That was cool. So yeah, if you're doing any building in the stream, let me know, or painting or anything like that, or if you're just hanging out, that's cool too. I don't mind that. And yes, we had someone send me the build that they'd worked on. They did their first ever model kit based on watching me do this. They had bought a high grade kit, and I was really happy to see that. That made me like really proud that I influenced someone to maybe find a new hobby or at least give it a shot. I think model kit, especially this era of model kit stuff, these snap together kits are so fun, and it's so cool to watch it slowly develop and build as you're putting it together. Just trim that. Just looking at the front of this, trying to figure out which way it goes. So I'll go like that, okay. And that goes like this. Great. All right, that's coming together. And then we'll need, what's this piece? Oop. What was this piece? Oh no. It came out. That makes sense. Why it slid out. Okay. No problem, folks. I got a little worried there for a second, but I did not have any reason to be worried. So I need some A's and some D's. This is D, okay. Forgotten photos to the Patreon. Looks really awesome. Yes. Yes, waffles. That's right. Yeah, that's. It looks really, really cool. He sent me some. If you go to my mentions in Twitter, I should have had the links ready. I'll do that next Thursday. I'll talk about it again, because I love the idea that people who watch this stream are also creating their own things. And I think that's cool as hell. Yeah, if you're ever working on any creative projects, feel free to reach out about them. Let me know. I can always give you a shout out on the stream, especially if I have prep to do that. I like that some of my followers and subscribers are making things. I think that's rad. Because I don't have the arts in me. I don't draw. Obviously, live performance is kind of where I've made my living doing, and I like to think I'm pretty good at the live stuff, but I haven't. Whoop, dropped a piece. Gonna pick that up. But I don't draw. I've never made anything, in computer stuff. Like that's like creative. That kind of element of creativity isn't in what I'm about. But I have the utmost respect for artists like that. People like Alexandra. Alexandra made the emote that our subscribers use, which is rad as hell. And of course, there's plenty of other artists in the communities that we all tread in who do incredible work. I have such admiration for. A 25. That's a tiny piece. It's a tiny piece. All right, I'm missing something in chat. Let me jump back in. Star Wars kit opening to Amazon since Thursday. Yeah. As you saw that those of you watched on Thursday, I kind of gave up on the motor at the end. The back engine of that X-Wing wasn't fun to build, and so I kind of gave up on it. I did the other easier one. But overall, other than that one section, that build was very fun. PC monitor, low latency input. An emulator cabinet. Johnny, okay. Working on a MAME thing. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a lot. To do it right is a lot of work. You can make a cabinet out of an iPad, and a joystick if you wanted to. But to do the whole thing, to really make it a cabinet, that takes a lot of effort and energy. So I don't envy you on that. But when you're in the photo stage, let me know. Oh wow, yeah, so you did some software for it. That's awesome. But yeah, when you're ready to start showing photos, please send me some on Twitter. I would love to see what you're working on. All right, so I got this little tiny piece that should theoretically go inside this arm, like this. It's a little clear plastic accent, which is cool, but doesn't seem to want to go on. And so we'll give it a couple more tries here. I trimmed it down already. I'm going to try using my snipper clips to hold it in place. Nope. All right, we're going to give this one more go here. We're still working on this little piece here, trying to get this where it should go. As you can see, it's very small. And my hands, as you know, if you're an active watcher of the stream, I got big old paws. Big old bear paws. So getting things to go in place doesn't always work for me. Great, that looks like it's in. Great, got it in. All right, great. I don't want to do that one again. I'm going to have to do that one again on the other arm. So let me forget about that for a second. And we'll look for H, G. Here we go. G, 15. I'm glad you all are working on stuff. That's awesome. Keep it up. I didn't do builds for a really long time, and I regret how long I went without building. I missed it in so much. It's just so relaxing, and also the stream is very fun. Like I don't like it. There's a audience out there that enjoys what I do, that only saw me do pack stuff and maybe occasionally came out to do some live show stuff and see me in New York. But there's plenty of people that have never seen me do anything like that, that only see me on my internet presence. Let me get a little water here. Sorry. So I want to do some more stuff online with people, and this has been something that I've been wanting to do for a very long time, ever since Austin Walker did one episode of a Gunpla show as a joke for Game of the Year stuff for Giant Bomb. And as soon as he started doing that, I had my sights on Build Club for a long time. Especially when we did the first Christmas special for Giant Bomb of the first time we did some storytelling stuff. We did Fiasco, and I really had a ball with Fiasco, but it got me thinking of, like, I want to do more stuff with Austin, and I still haven't done enough. He is going to be my guest at PAX Unplugged. We're going to do 404ing at PAX Unplugged, and he's going to be one of the guests, along with Angela Weber from the Double Clicks and my partner in crime, Aaron Tretz. I'm going to cough. Pardon me. Apologize for that. Water went down a little wrong there, but we're back and we're back in it. So great. We've done most of our arm here. Gotten most of the accent pieces. We are going to work on one final little accent, and then we're going to build a hand for our Gundam. We got a little spoiled with the G Gundam builds, because the G Gundam build had the rubber hands, which I like a lot. These are all going to be plastic and made out of different components, and it'll be fine, and I like it just fine. But I do think that the pardon me, I'm trying to look up A35. I do think that I prefer the rubber hands to the plastic hands for kits. L. We're gonna have to find L. Okay. I don't know if I've. Here's L. Great. All right. Cool. Like that. And then let's build this hand. So we need a bunch of pieces. Gotta get all these fingers together. L11. This is not L. This is F. F also has some pieces that look like they're parts of hands. So I got a little distracted there. This is H. Where's L? Give me one moment, friends. I apologize. G, A, B, C. This is E. This is F. This is H. This is I. I forgot. L. His hands are white. Yes, you're completely correct that I prefer the rubber hands myself. Yeah, I just think they look cooler. All right, so 11. But I'm not complaining too much because these will still look nice. Also, I don't mind a step that's just put this rubber thing on, and you don't have to like build it. I don't necessarily mind that too much, even though building is the fun part. Sometimes a couple shortcuts I'm not complaining about. So we're going to use the paper here to keep our hand in place so that we don't lose any of these pieces, because some of these pieces are small. And we're going to be extra careful with the clips that we make so that we're not having our pieces fly off and fly away on the floor. And then I have to get the vacuum cleaner out to try to find them, and it's a whole stupid thing. I say, sometimes people like to build in the box. They'll do in the box, which I fully support. Obviously, doesn't work too well for the stream that we're doing. That I'd have to have higher up to kind of be able to see in there, and it would kind of limit my ability to build things in the room that I would have to do it. But that is a trick that people use, is to build inside, or to at least snip inside the box, if not build inside the box, which I fully support, but just not how I like to do it. All right, so that goes up there, that goes up there, and then we'll do the left and right side of this, 17. Yeah, the rubber hands and rubber soles of the G Gundam kit were probably my favorite parts of that kit. The screws were my least favorite part, as you very well know. All right, so that's that. Put that aside. And let's put our hands together. Haha. For me. Oh man, my voice is definitely not great. I do apologize for that. I was hoping that it would be back in good shape by today, but it's not. All right. Okay. And then that goes like that. Great. So we got a hand here. Trigger finger. Pretty great. And then we just put B1 on that. B1, which is B1, is a hand plate. Shocking. All right. And then that goes on the hand here. Awesome. So that's one of our hands, which we can then stick on there. And that'll be able to hold a weapon, either a gun or a beam sword, whichever you want to use. That's cool. Got some pictures of the yeah, send to me on Twitter, Johnny Warps. That would be awesome. I love seeing what people are working on, and I can link to that on my Twitter. If people, I'll always give you a retweet. I'll say that. You don't have to do it during the stream. If you want to do it on your own time, I'll always retweet the stuff that people are working on. Unless you're working for, like, if you work for a job where you make stuff and it's not your job, you're just working for a company, I might not want to, like, shout at your company unless your company's cool. I guess that would be the one time I wouldn't do that. All right, so we did one arm, and now we're going to do the other arm. And my hope is that it's going to run nice and smooth. It certainly should. And let's find. Okay. So we're going to get the pieces we need to do this. My natural instinct is to fold, but I'm going to lay it open so that I can use as a building surface, because it's a little better than using just the table, because the table is black and things don't pop that well. So I understand that. PCE. I mean, it's all going to be the pieces that I just took out. It's the other parts of them. But all right, so now we're going to find F again. So this is great. And we're going to get to building again. So let's do we're over here. I need F37. Yeah, like I said, this should move pretty smooth because I already just did this build a second ago when I did the other hand, and these are pretty much identical. There might be a subtle difference here and there. Some kits, the arms are different. Like if I was doing the Shenlong from Gundam Wing, the Chinese Gundam, then one arm would be different, or depending on which version of that I was building, one arm could be very different than the other, because that wasn't a regular Gundam, that part anyway. So F34 and F33. Great. And go back to chat, see what's chat doing. Great. Yes, unemployed is yeah, it's been a while, I'll say that, since I've done the unemployment thing. When I first moved to New York, I had very little savings. My folks were paying my rent because they were incredibly gracious and wonderful people, and they still are to this day. They paid my rent for a year while I did classes and kind of figured out what I was doing, and then I was trying to get work while I did all that, and just took whatever I could for quite some time. And in 2004, finally got a real job, which started as part-time and became the career I have today, which is bizarre and crazy when I think about it. How long I've worked for the same company, doing the same thing. Different jobs within the same company, but I have been with the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater since paid as a paid employee since 2004, which is nonsense. I love it still, but it's so bizarre that I still have a job here after all these years. Happy to still do tech as the technical director of the theater, be in charge of other people and their projects, tech a bunch of nights of the week. That's why I can only do streams 2 nights a week, because I work 4 other nights, and then I wanted one night where I didn't stream or work, which is shocking of me. Just realized, move this a little bit over here. Yeah, just a little bit. Okay. Let's see. All right, so yeah, so we're building our arm again. We're going to build all the components to that arm. Same thing. So if there's anything in chat y'all want to talk about, I'm on episode 11 of the 2 shows that I watch, and I hit 12 on one of the shows I watch. That show, Restaurant to Another World, might have a 13th episode, but traditionally you're going to end up with 12 episodes of the shows that you like. So I'm on episode 11 of In Another World, My Cell Phone, and I'm on episode 11 in New Game, 2 exclamation points, the 2nd season of New Game. And I'm bummed. More about New Game, not that this was necessarily the best season, because it certainly wasn't, but it's still a show I really like, and I did like the 11th episode. I would say the first season's stronger overall, but I think that the first season has its merits and has, like, its advantages. And I definitely recommend that show to people. And then I'm still behind on My Hero Academia, as is my way. I will always be a little behind on that show because I like to binge that show. I'm going to cough. Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, I'm coughing a lot on this stream, and that's unprofessional. I apologize. All right, so let's see here. We got that going there. Cool. So we've done that piece. We've done that piece. Done that piece. Putting our arm together. As I said, this is going by faster because I know how to do it because I just did the other one. We'll do that, and we'll get some bees in here. I'm on episode, I think, 3 or 4 of Knights and Magic, which, if you're into Gundams and Gunpla, it is a magic fantasy world where magic controls giant mechs. And the lead character was like an otaku programmer in his adult life, and he dies and then wakes up as a young boy in a mystical, magical realm, and he wants to become a knight so that he can ride cool mechs. And so he learns that magic is actually a lot like programming. Oh. And it's pretty fun, and the support characters are interesting. So yeah, so I haven't watched, like I said, I haven't really been paying attention to that show because I had 3 that I was watching, and that was at the time enough. But I will probably keep watching Knights and Magic as I wait for October to arrive, because I believe that in October is when the next show that I want to watch, the Food Wars Season 3 starts, I believe. And this is the like the Elite 10, the best food people in the school, the masters that we'll have there. So I think that's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited about that. I like that show. I've said this before on the stream. Food Wars is great, especially I think the 2nd season is actually really good, solid, because at that point we are over and done with a lot of the bullshit from the 1st season of the artist being a real perv, and a lot of food orgasms seem to diminish some. Although since it's going to be fighting in a tournament style or challenges, I'm sure there'll be more people that want to be real into their food and real weird about it. All right, go. Oh, we got here. Yes, 8th MS team is fantastic. You're not wrong, Johnny. I mean, hey, I've said my 3 favorite Gundam series are G Gundam, which is only known for its bad Gundams and its racial stereotypes, and the fact that there's a guy that rides a horse, which is pretty cool. And my other, like one of my other ones is that I really like is Gundam X, which is no one talks about Gundam X. It is it's one of the forgotten shows. Uh, I do think that Orphans has some really cool designs. I'm not super up on that show. I didn't see all of it, but I think the designs are pretty cool. Um, yeah, it's hard. Sometimes you like a thing and it's just like, especially the series that have lots and lots of robots. I think people like even Gundam Wing. Gundam Wing is known for its 5 main Gundams and obviously the Gundam Wing variation, but there's also the Epion and the Talgeese, and there's 2 other ones that I can't remember the names of that like show up later, like Mercury and something or other. Like there are other ones, but those, like I said, I can't remember them, and I love Gundam Wing, and I can't tell you the name of that one. We're looking up for D. Here's D. Great. This is D. Yep. Okay, great. So it's hard. I understand that sometimes you like a show, and it's just like people aren't into it because it just didn't hit. It didn't hit with people. And sometimes there are Gundam shows that are like on purpose. They don't have like a lot of flashy design. Like Turn A, that show is post apocalypse. Like it doesn't have flashy stuff because it doesn't want to have flashy stuff. Like that's kind of the point. So it makes sense that it wouldn't have things that really stand out. All right, so first time this piece took a long time to get on. We'll see if we can get it on a little faster this time. Yes, way faster this time. Hell yeah. All right, so we've got that piece, that piece, that piece. This goes on here. We're going to work on, we need A8 and then find G. I can't remember what G looks like. G appears to be white or off-white. A8. Oh, I'm going to take this other piece off because I know I'm going to need it soon. But yeah, like I said, my favorite shows aren't like the most popular. I mean, Gundam Wing obviously very popular, but Gundam X is not a show that people are like itching to talk about. And I bet that one doesn't hold up as well. I bet if I saw it, I wouldn't necessarily love it, but I liked a lot of it. A lot of what was going on in that show. The X and the Double X were both pretty solid looking Gundams for the time anyway, even though that show was panned for not being particularly cool looking, because it was not cool looking. Oh yeah, I need G. Gotta find G1. Looking for you, G1. H. E. G. Got it. I try to keep these alphabetical as best I can, especially when I'm starting a stream. I like to keep them alphabetical for reference so I can find them as fast as possible. But, as we go along, that becomes less and less likely. You're more likely than I just throw one on top of the pile and then keep moving. Also, that lip goes on here. And then we'll... Oh no. Did I not put that in there? I need J. Uh-oh. I dropped a piece, y'all, and it is annoying that I dropped it, so now I need to go and try to find it. It is a rower piece. And sound like my chair. So that's not great. I dropped a rower piece that will hold my hands in place. So that is bad, and hopefully I will find it in a moment. So you will find non-Gundam models like Zaku's, stuff like that. Those kind of things you're going to find those. Obviously, the Gundams are more easy to find because they're Gundams, and so people want them and are willing to pay for them. The main stuff, but you'll find support stuff, like I said, like Zaku's and other mobile suits are certainly going to be out there. All right, I'm going to stand up here and see if this piece that I dropped fell on my chair, which is the best case scenario. So let me just step out of frame here for a moment. All right, so it did not fall in a place that is easy to find, which is okay. We are going to build around it, which means that we will not put our hands fully together here. We'll finish the hand, but it won't snap in because the piece that we need, J, right? That's what that was. Yes. Yeah. PCJ fell off and fell off somewhere, and I don't know where. And but hopefully, once I tear down all this setup, I will be able to find it very quickly and reassemble it with the piece that we need. So we'll keep these aside. These two pieces here, I'm going to put in the box, and then we will add them together when I find that piece, because it's fine. So this setup, I have to break down, and then I build it back up on Thursday, and then keep it through Saturday, and then break down again. So it's not in the end of the world. I have to move all this stuff anyway, so when I'm moving all of it, I will be able to find that piece, hopefully. And if not, well, then I can see about looking at the other kits I have that are this. If there's an extra one that will work for holding hands in place, I can always look in my Death Scythe, because I could always just take a hand off of that or something like that. I have options. Most likely what will happen is, as I'm breaking this down, I will step on it, which is not necessarily fun. Yes, you're right in the chat that most of the non-Gundam figures that are out there, model kits out there, are in the HG category, the high grade category, and you're not necessarily going to find them in master grade or perfect grade. That is true. That's very true. But there's something to be said for the high grades. I've got a place in my heart for a good high grade. And you never know, they could be the RG, the new real grade class of kit, could have those as well. The RG, which I've never built one. At some point, I certainly will have to build one of those. It'll be necessary for me to build one. The real grade apparently has like a high grade sensibility, but has like some master grade elements to it, some tricks of it. It sounds cool, and I'm looking forward to eventually building a real grade, because I've never built one of those. We'll see. Obviously, if and when I do one, it'll be on the stream, so you'll see it as well. All right, we're in the 200 stack of 6. Wow, a stack of 6. That's a lot. That's a lot of model kits waiting for you to build them. Okay, so we'll put this. This goes like this. Oh, gotta do a little snip here. I'm a little mad at myself here, I'll say, for letting that piece fall while I was building, because now I'm going to have to try to find it, and that is frustrating. But I don't think it's impossible. I think I can make it happen. All right, so we're just getting our thumb on, and we'll get our finger on. Great. And then it goes like that. And that goes like that. Oh, sorry, I was building a little off center. Apologize. All right. There's our other hand. So if we had the right piece, it fit in there and hang out in there. But as I said, drop that piece. So now hopefully I will find it sooner rather than later, but I believe that I will have it ready to go for next Thursday. But we'll put that aside. We're going to put our hands back in our box, and we'll put the arm aside there. All right, so we've done 2 hands, 2 arms. Yes, you did that. The Freedom Strike, super deformed. Yes, ruled. And then Mr. Bob, you said that you opened 1RG, saw the sticker decals, and closed it. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. You don't have to do stickers and decals. They get you because there's a couple that look real cool. Like people that saw my Ecto 1 kit, I did 1 sticker for it because it was like the display panel for inside the vehicle. And that's the only one I did. I didn't do any other ones. And you can. I'm not saying you shouldn't or you can't or anything like that. I'm not going to try to, say you're not allowed to do that stuff. I'm just saying I'm not doing it. And I made peace with that. If I'm really if it's really cool, I might give it a shot, but I'm totally fine with not doing it. All right, so now we're working on pieces that will become like our shoulders here, shoulder armor, classic for a Gundam kit. So that's 15, which is the other side. I don't need that one yet. I looked at my numbers wrong. That's okay. We'll kind of build this in tandem anyway. So we got another 20 minutes or so. 20 minutes or so left in the stream. So we'll at least get one of these shoulders done in that time, if not both shoulders done. Especially since once we do one, the other will be easy. 15, 16. There's a lot of symmetry in this kit. As I said, sometimes kits don't have the symmetry because they're built around a gimmick. The early version of the heavy arms has 1 big gun arm, and then later it's got 2 big gun arms, or rather, it's just and then the OVA version, the custom, just has like 2 giant guns that it holds. It kind of gives up the whole gun arm feel. It just has big old guns. Okay. Snap that together. Great. That came together pretty fast. And then G2. All right, so we're doing I don't know why it says 22 and 24. We'll look at it in a second. I gotta find G. B. This is G. Starting to remember what these pieces look like, which is very helpful. Makes it a lot faster to do these builds once I start knowing what the sheets look like. Yeah, I haven't done a super deformed DSD in a long time. Super deforms are very fun. In fact, if I ever do a live version of the show, like a live for an audience at say like a PAX or something, I would most likely get a super deformed kit that we could that me and my guests could all build together, because I think that would be a fun build. Or it could be like a Pokemon, because the Pokemon builds are pretty short. I haven't done one of those in quite some time, but the last time I did a Pokemon build, it was really easy to do. It came together real quick. This one's 22. This one's 24. All right, I understood what that was asking me. I didn't quite understand what it wanted from me. It wanted me to assemble these, even though it shows these pieces connected. They were two pieces, so it wanted me to do that first, which makes a lot of sense. At first, I did not understand what it was asking me to do. And this goes like that. Sorry, I got quiet there. I apologize. Like I said, I don't know. I wasn't quite sure what this wanted me to do, so it took me for a few seconds. But basically, it opens up and moves around and is pretty free standing, and so it had to just snap some stuff into place to make this very freestanding and maneuverable. It's great. So we did that, and then D5. And yeah, I'm excited for Knights in Magic because I've been looking for a good show with robots. It's been a minute since I had a show with robots that I was really into, so I'm hoping that it'll be good. It looks a little funny in places, and I don't mind that in my anime, and I don't mind that in my mech shows. A little humor goes a long way. But a lot of the robotish kind of shows we've been getting lately have, in my opinion, just been exoskeleton shows, like exosuit shows. And those are cool, but they're not necessarily what I'm looking for all the time. Sometimes I want I want a big mech. I want a big old mech, not just like an exosuit. Yes, the SD Gundams kits are very inexpensive, and they're easy to modify. And if you want to like make it look like it did in one episode after some damage, it's easier to damage an SD kit and kind of make it your own. I don't get into the weathering of plastic and that kind of stuff. I'll leave that to people with more time and energy than I have to kind of make those things. But some people go real nuts with it, and I think that's awesome that they do that. But it is not something that I'm up for myself. But some people go crazy bananas with the customization of stuff like that. And cool. All right, so we got that done, and we'll do the same thing for the other side. Our shoulder piece should move pretty quickly. Hey, Zorbs. Yes, you are unfortunately pretty late to the show. We got another 15 minutes left on the Saturday stream, but thank you for coming out and chilling with the stream a little bit. We've been working on our Wing Gundam Zero, which is the in the lore of the show is the prototype that came out before that was the first design in the Gundam Wing series, and then it was too powerful. So the 5 scientists that created it went off to create their own Gundams. And scientist number 1 just made his Gundam, the Gundam Wing, Gundam 1, look like the original. It was based on that design. And this kit doesn't transform, which is fine because it's got all the wings. So we finished off our torso. We worked on our head, got that head done. We did 2 arms. We did a hand, but I lost a piece on the floor that goes here so that I can finish the hand, which I will find. And we did 1 shoulder. So we're getting a lot done. Legs will be tomorrow, and then we'll start putting those, or sorry, not tomorrow. Oh, no. Next Thursday will be the legs. And then when leg day is done, then we start working on putting stuff together and build. Like, I think we're probably like 2 streams, maybe 3 streams away from wings. But yeah, we got some stuff done today. I'm trying to get some stuff done, Zorbs. You know, the whole part of the stream is that I build stuff, and then people say things in chat, and I talk to them about other things. And sometimes we get into stuff that's not build related, which I'm totally cool with. Sometimes we get into stuff. Sometimes that's all we talk about, and I'm also cool with that. Sometimes I drop a piece on the floor, and I curse myself for that, and I'm mad that I did that. All right, so I need to find G again. Cutting that piece out because I know I need it. This is L. I'd make this G. Is this G? Yes, this is G. So G. Okay. Yeah, we're getting a little bit done here. As we kind of close out, we're still got another 15 minutes or so of the stream. Because about an hour and a half, all I can do is, as I said, my voice is not great. And then also I find that once I hit an hour and a half mark, I start getting a little sloppy. And I don't want to get sloppy with this build. I already dropped a piece that I couldn't find. So I certainly don't want to do any more nonsense. What I'll do is as soon as I find that piece, I will finish it working on that whole arm and attach it off stream. So that way it'll be done. And when we come back on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, it'll be ready to go. Next stream will be Thursday at 8 p.m. And then Saturday, the following Saturday, will be at 9 p.m. as usual, Eastern time for both those. Those are the 2 stream times. And then I will, as I said, on the 5th of October, I will have an earlier stream. It'll be 2 p.m. till 3 p.m. Eastern time. Because I will be performing that evening and will not be able to stream, but I still want to do a stream. So in the afternoon, I'll basically stream in the Chelsea area, go meet up with my friends from Cards Against Humanity, get my badge for the weekend, and then go off and have dinner with them, and then get ready to do the show that we're doing that night. Okay, so I just did one of these, so you'd think I would nail how to put it together. Since I just did it, we'll see if I can nail it. I think I can. Yes, so that's what I do there. And then this goes like that. All right, got it. Took me a second. It's a pretty interesting build piece, so takes a few seconds there. But yeah, I'm gonna link in chat again the shows if you're in New York or for New York Comic Con, or if you're around that weekend. That Thursday, I've got a show at 8 p.m. at UCB Chelsea with the fine folks at Cards Against Humanity. Then Friday at 11:59 p.m. Also at UCB Chelsea, I have my show, which is called the Improvised Postmortem, which is should be a very cool improv show that was similar to the one I did at PAX West, only this one will be comic book themed because it'll be the New York Comic Con edition. And I haven't said it in public, but I'll say on stream, and then I will say that Abby Russell from Giant Bomb will be my guest, one of my many guests for that show. I'm still booking other guests, hopefully tomorrow, on Monday, all over the place. So hopefully on Monday I'll be able to announce that. Okay, so we got our 2 shoulder pieces done. Ooh, we're the middle. Shows you all this stuff here. Great. So it wants me to put some stuff together. We'll do that right now. Just want to make sure I didn't miss it. Nope. Didn't miss a step. Okay. That on. Doesn't actually say how these go on. That makes sense. Okay, so. Okay, so shoulder goes in first. And you can kind of pull the shoulder up and over. And then the arm goes in. Great. And the arm snaps in place. Shoulder goes over it. Oops. And then you fix the mistake that you made. Great. And then we'll do the same thing for the other one. Shoulder piece in first. Up a little bit so you can angle. Locks into place. Got a lot of movement with this, which is great. And then look at that. Then we can put the head on. All right. And then yeah. So that's the top half of our Gundam. We'll work on the our torso, our legs, starting on next Thursday. We'll get some legs done. We'll get most of the done probably on Thursday, and then that Saturday we'll finish it up. Probably do wings. So this will probably be about a 4-episode build. That's my guess. This will be the end of episode 2. So isn't it, Zorbs? Isn't it like, oh, it's so nice. Like, yet when we started, we didn't have a head. We had a chest. We had a completed chest. We did the head. We did the arms. It all comes together. We have one hand. We finished the other hand. Like I said, I got to find that piece, which I'll find probably as soon as this stream is over. It's so gratifying and satisfying to see things come together. Underneath the stream, if you click info, is a link to my YouTube and my Twitter and my donation page. I just put my Amazon wish list in the stream, and I'm also going to put the links to the 2 comedy shows that I'm doing in New York, and they'll all be listed in my YouTube as well. So that's what I've got going on. I'll be back next Thursday. If you're working on stuff when I'm not streaming, send it to me on my Twitter. I'll always retweet and let people know of the cool stuff that you're working on, because it makes me really proud that friends are working on things. You got till October 2nd to save some money if you want to subscribe. If you don't follow already, please do. Having high follower, we are 204 followers right now, which, considering I started doing this in July, that's incredible. We are at 19 subscribers, which is also incredible, and I'm really grateful for it. So thank you all so much for joining me today. I'll be back next Thursday with more streaming, and probably on Tuesday I'll start really wishing that I could build, but I'm not going to build off stream. So I'll see you all then. Have a great night. Good night.